All right, good morning. Thanks for being here. Excited about this week, and obviously the last couple of weeks, especially last week, we didn't get the results that we wanted, and there's a little bit of disappointment from that, but I'm very optimistic moving forward. Excited about the challenge this week and the opportunity. Our guys had a great start to the week yesterday in practice, and looking to keep that going and finish the preparation strong and go play this game in Las Vegas.
What you learned and the adjustments you made without Derek that's going to help you moving forward?
Well, I mean, he's a great player. He's one of the elite D linemen in this league, and it's always obviously a big void without him in there. But we have to adjust, and like all players, you always try to evaluate our entire roster in terms of what guys do well, where they're not, where they're a little deficient, and then you put them in positions to be successful.
From an evaluation standpoint, your two draft picks who are on the 53-man roster haven't played a snap on defense. Jamie Sheriff was cut after a week, but he's the only rookie to really play on defense. I know you have a lot of guys on this team that are former Broncos and Rams. How do you factor in potential in-game reps for those guys, considering the way the last 2 weeks have gone?
Yeah, I mean, it really doesn't even matter about the results of the last 2 weeks. You're always just trying to get the best 11 on the field. And then obviously there's a situational aspect to it where there's certain situations you may need more rushers or more cover guys or whatever it may be. But at the end of the day, it's always trying to get the best 11 out there.
Do you feel like the results imply that you have the best 11 out there, though?
Well, it's always a constant evaluation, obviously. So, yep.
So with that said, would that mean that we've seen changes on offense? Would you make personnel changes on defense?
I don't want to get into the game plan in terms of what we're going to do. We're just going to keep trying to put the best 11 out there. And obviously, we're always trying to make it work, and it's a constant evaluation. And what you did last week is going to really play a big part in what you do next week and all that stuff. So we're always evaluating. We're always trying to see where our roster is, and we're always trying to get the best 11 out there.
Your three week 3 starters in the D line are all injured. We don't know what the status is of obviously Shai and Ejiro will be this week.
Mm-hmm.
What's your outlook at that position right now?
Well, I'm with you on that. I don't know who's up either, and we're working through that. But at the end of the day, we got confidence in those guys. Nick Thurman, LeBron Ray, Peavy, all of those guys have played some snaps. Wash does a great job with them, and whoever we roll out there with, they got to be ready to play.
Peavy's played particularly well of those guys. What have you seen from him since promoting him from the practice squad?
Well, it's what we saw from him in training camp. He's got size, he's got length, he's a very good athlete. We really like him as a rusher, and so there's a lot to work with there.
Simple question, but I'm sure a complicated answer. How do you defend Davante Adams?
It's hard. I watched him in practice for a year, and he's an amazing player, arguably the best receiver of this generation. And so we got to understand what he does when he's outside, when he's inside, using our different coverages, getting some coverage rolled to him, all those different things. But it's a chess piece for sure.
He's so good off the line,
Mm-hmm.
initial move. Do you do anything different with Mike and JC this week just to kind of get them used to that phone booth, so to speak?
Well, I don't want to disclose too much about how we want to play against them, but we have to do different things. I don't think there's any one way you stop them, or you can't give them the same look, because if you decide to double them every play, then obviously you're outnumbered in other areas, and so we got to just continue to roll the game plan around and give them different looks and attack them in different ways and hope for the best.
Turnovers have been a point of emphasis on defense this year. I know early on the initial fumble that was overturned with JC involved.
Mm-hmm.
When you go back and you talk through the film on that specific play, what are some of the teaching moments, or how do you approach the explanation around? I guess that was my question. What are the teachable moments coming out of that play?
It's about habits, really. And so, regardless of the results of that play, he did exactly what you wanted. He's chasing the ball. He's in a chase tackle position. He's going after the ball. And, you can't control those calls and how it's going to be officiated. But, if you continue to have those habits, you're going to get the results you want more often than not.
To follow up on Deshaun's question, JC in particular had kind of like a whirlwind. First 2 drives, he had the near fumble,
Mm-hmm.
then he allowed the touchdown, but then he comes back and gets the interception, then he had a really good run stop.
Mm-hmm.
To see him respond to the kind of letdown of the first drive with that second, I guess, the third drive.
Mm-hmm.
What does that say to you as a coach about his character as a player and his talent?
Yeah, and nothing there surprises us. When you sign up to play in this league at any position, especially that one, there's going to be good plays and there's going to be plays that you're not going to make every play. And so, the first long touchdown he was in good coverage and didn't play quite right at the end of it, and the guy made a heck of a play and give him credit. But that stuff doesn't faze JC. He's a competitor. He has a great belief in his ability, and him responding the way he did, it's not a surprise at all.
At inside linebacker, how has the communication been with Shaq and Josie with the rest of the group?
Really good, really good. Shaq and Josie, both veterans, both been in the system, and especially Josie, and so they've done a great job. They're intentional. They prepare the right way, and on the field, it's been good.
DJ Johnson had a pretty big play this past week. We know he's known more as an edge setter, but what have you seen from him as a pass rusher?
He's continuing to improve, run game and pass game, and again, like a lot of our guys, he's working. He's intentional about his approach, and we're looking for him to continue to grow.
What's the biggest threat you see from the Raiders offense?
The biggest threat? They got two very good skilled players, Davante and 89, and so yeah, they got two threats, and it's always hard when you got multiple guys like that. The quarterback has the ability to extend plays and make plays on the move, and so we got a good challenge ahead of us, and got to believe that based on what we've done and based on the personality of their head coach, they're going to try to come out and run the ball.
Bryce kind of has a comparable game to Gardner. How has he worked out on the scout team?
He did a great job for us yesterday. Yeah, he made a lot of plays.
Is when you have a guy who can actually simulate what, sometimes you're going up against Lamar Jackson, that's very tough to duplicate, but when you have somebody who does have a comparable game, how much can that help you from the scout team perspective?
Oh, yeah, it's great. When you have a guy that can move around and make plays on the move and sit in the pocket and make throws, and he did a lot of good things in practice yesterday against us, and certainly he's making us better.
You mentioned you feel like they're going to come out and run the ball. That's something they've not been able to get going as much as they probably like to the first 2 weeks. Is that just attitude, personality that you think that's what they'll lean on?
Yeah, I think this team, especially knowing the head coach and knowing the offensive coordinator there, they want to run the ball. They know that that's the path to making life easier for the quarterback. And obviously, their first two games, they haven't been able to get that going. But it hasn't been from a lack of effort, and so I know that I know Luke Getsy very well. He's a very good coach, and they're going to try to do things schematically. I'm sure they'll change some things to try to get it going. But I'm in full belief that that's going to be the mindset going into the game.
You've gone up against Luke before in his play calling. What stands out to you about the way he calls plays?
Luke is very, very good in terms of knowing what you do defensively, knowing your rules, and attacking, coming up with runs and passes that attack what you do schematically. And so we know that he's going to have a very specific game plan for all the issues that we have, and we got to be ready for it.
Okay.
All right, thank you all.
Appreciate it.